We are a very fair and equal group when it comes to our drivers in Formula 1 here at GPFans. We show no bias, but there is something hanging over Formula 1 that has to be addressed. Max Verstappen is going to become back-to-back Drivers' World Champion this year. It's just a case of when and how he does it. With some vital Grand Prix coming up and his first opportunities to clinch the Drivers' World Championship, these are the scenarios in which Verstappen can be crowned Drivers' World Champion in 2022 in the next few races. During this weekend's race, the Singapore Grand Prix, Max has his first opportunity to become World Champion. Verstappen must win the race and hope to score 22 more points than Charles Leclerc and 13 more than his teammate Sergio Perez. If Verstappen comes first, only P9 or lower for Leclerc would make the gap between Verstappen and the Monegasque driver unassailable. If Verstappen wins, Perez will have to finish 4th or lower if Verstappen wants to put his own teammate out on an unbridgeable gap in the standings as well. There is of course a second scenario for Verstappen to wrap up the title. If he wins the race and sets the fastest lap, taking the extra point, P4 or lower for Perez and P8 or lower for Leclerc will be enough to make Verstappen World Champion. In any case, he has to win this weekend in Singapore. It seems far more likely at this stage that it will be in either Japan or the United States of America that Verstappen wraps up the championship. The Dutchman will have to have a 112-point lead over the number 2 in the standings after the Japanese Grand Prix to do so. Currently, that difference is already 116 points, so the math for the Japanese Grand Prix with the current lead is fairly simple. If the gap remains the same between the first place driver Verstappen and second place in the Drivers' Championship, or it's bigger than it currently stands at the moment going into that weekend, then Verstappen will just need to finish the race in front of Perez and Leclerc in any position and he will become World Champion. The same will also apply for the Grand Prix in America and all races after that. Now realistically, Verstappen will become World Champion during the Grand Prix in Japan, or perhaps in the United States of America on October 23rd, or even possibly in Mexico on October 30th. In America, Verstappen must have an 86-point lead over the number 2 in the standings, and that comes down to just 60 points in Mexico. Given his current lead in the standings, that seems almost an impossible task for the competition to catch up. If Perez and Leclerc want to prevent that, they will have to finish every single race for the remainder of the season in front of Verstappen, and of course hope that Verstappen finishes outside of the top 10 on more than one occasion. Now, given the current form that the Dutchman is in, this seems unrealistic. In any case, there is a good chance that the Grand Prix of Brazil on November 13th and in Abu Dhabi on November 20th will be more of a guard of honour than a title battle, with Verstappen wearing the crown for his second Drivers' World Championship. Now, you can follow all of the action from the Singapore Grand Prix on gpfans.com, all of the fallout as well, and the discussion from the paddock, and GPFans Global on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well for all of your social media needs.